Hi all, it's Kristin Oropeza again, Education Marketing and Community Coordinator here at Common Sense Education. We are here again for another episode for our back to school tips and tricks. We are so excited to start the new school year, excited to help educators this fall. Again, I have Jennifer Ehehalt, who is our Senior Education Manager here at Common Sense with us today. Jennifer, hello again.
Hello, Kristen. How are you today?
I am so good. Again, so excited that energy is just it's palpable. And I know some teachers are a little apprehensive to kind of in their summer and their vacationing, but there's such a sense, especially at the beginning of the school year, this I don't know, this renewal, right? Like it's a new year. It's time to try new stuff. Improve practices. I'm excited.
I am too. Yes, definitely.
All right. So Jennifer, we're both former educators here, and one of the things, especially nowadays in classrooms, teachers have technology to use, right? That's could be a great thing. And I want to know, what should teachers be thinking about as they get this new group of students into their classrooms and they're preparing to use some of the ed tech resources available to them in the classroom?
Well, as a former elementary educator, there's nothing more important than onboarding, right? And really getting kids used to expectations and routines for the school year. And that has to happen in those first 10 days of school because that's when they're captured and your moment to set all of these guidelines and how you want your class to feel and
Yeah.
operate. So we have a device onboarding lesson collection. And I know it says K-5, which a lot of the lessons within this collection are around that, but please know what we're going to highlight. This scaffolds all the way to 12th grade. And so, whether it's the first time, you're working with students in school issue devices, or you are a wizard, right? You've been doing this for years. It's still important to think about what we need to do. So, just to give you a snapshot of what some of our lessons are, caring for our devices is so important, right? I mean, when we think about our kindergartners and our first graders coming in, it's important to honestly take a minute to teach them even how to hold it, how to carry it, where to put it, etc. But one of the things I wanted to focus on was our device charter. And this one is really nice because this is where you can create a class charter. And this is where students have a voice in what they're going to be doing, what they want to see when they're online. And you can see here, everything is outlined for you. And so you can go into all kinds of different activities, but I wanted to focus on the actual digital pledge. And this is great because the pledges allow you to create ideas around where you want your devices to live in the classroom, when and where we can use our devices, which apps or ed tech tools we can access on our devices and what those mean, the responsibility pieces, the privacy pieces, the digital footprint pieces. And so all of that is captured in our pledge. And we invite you can create this pledge via piece of paper, right? You can print them out. The kids can kind of go through it all. You can also create some of these pledges in Canva. Canva is a great tool to be able to kind of take templates and just have them kind of, build different icons and just really create this and hang it in your classroom. And just keep in mind, this is not a one and done, right? These agreements and, these pledges that students are signing off on, you want to make sure you're building in some routines to refer back to it. And making sure like, hey, this is why we signed this pledge earlier in the year because we're doing this. And my other piece of advice is to visit the pledge often. Again, this is not do it once, that first week of school and hang it up and, life goes on. I think it's important, like every once in a while to do a check in and give that positive reinforcement around, wow, you all are doing a great job with the privacy section of our agreement. I've noticed, there's no oversharing and, etc. And so giving that positive reinforcement and revisiting maybe where their challenges are and how can we hone in on what to better plan for in terms of how we build habits and routines and our skills and our dispositions when it comes to digital citizenship. And so these pledges, start as early as kindergarten, and there's a pledge or classroom tech agreement at every grade band in our content. And so this can be done every year, every grade level, every classroom teacher. If you have a device, this is something you should consider. And so you can find all of this content in our lessons on the back to school landing page at commonsense.org, right? /education and then back to school with hyphens.
Yes.
And so everything will be posted there for you to be able to access some of these pledges and get started.
I love the idea of that. One, of setting expectations very early on in the school year, with how, in regards to how students are going to be utilizing and the ed tech in the classroom, and then two, that important part. It's not just a one and done, right? It's something. Yes, you can post it, but I remember I was a special ed teacher for so long, and having those expectations visible at every point of the school year and referring back to them, right? Especially as we're like real time teaching moments when students maybe aren't following the expectations as well as we think they should be, and then just kind of reminding them, remember we set out these expectations at the beginning of the school year. We want to be safe. We want to be responsible with our devices. Yeah, I think that is just really great advice.
Yes. This is just all those concepts when we think about digital citizenship. And the other piece I wanted to add is this is you're able to make a copy and you can customize this in any way, shape, or form that fits the culture of your classroom and the students that you teach. And so maybe some of these boxes aren't relevant, but that's why you can download it and share it.
Sometimes teachers think that because students have been using tech at home, that sometimes they think maybe like kids know how to use tech, right? But it's so important, like, having my own young daughter here, at home and seeing how she utilizes tech at home, how it differs greatly from how tech is currently being utilized in her school. I think teachers just, it's a really good beginning of the year habit to just kind of remind students, like, we're at school. Maybe it's okay for you to throw your iPad around at home in the classroom here. That's, we're going to take care of our devices and make sure that we can utilize it for learning purposes. Yeah.
Absolutely. This is for like the middle and high school students. So again, all similar patterns here with the digital citizenship skills and, the habits that you want to instill. But again, a little more mature as the grade bands increase and you have different things to be considering or to be concerned with and challenged with. So it kind of meets those needs too with the different things going on in each grade level. But again, customizable.
I love that. I love that all of our resources, is in Google Suite, and it can be customized to the needs of the individual classroom.
And I mean, this is another way to check off that checklist, right? I mean, we have this back to school checklist that we all, day in and day out until we lead up to school, what we need to plan for and get ready for. So hopefully this template will help with some of these class agreements that you have planned for.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer, for sharing the device onboarding. Those digital citizenship pledges I think are going to be just so helpful for teachers who are getting ready or maybe already in the midst of getting back to school and started with devices in the classroom with students. So thank you.